Did you know the Eagles made the second best-selling album of all time? Or that two members of the Eagles had flings with Stevie Nicks? The Eagles is one of the most iconic American bands in history, dominating the business in the 1970s like no other band in the game. The Eagles have fought through drama and infighting to become one of the most celebrated musical acts of all time. Stick around, because this is MicDrop's 107 music facts about the Eagles. Number 1. The Eagles first formed in 1971, when all four founding members came together as a backup band to play for Linda Ronstadt. Number 2. All members of the band originally moved to Los Angeles, their home base, to find work. Number 3. Singer-bassist Randy Meisner was born in Scottsbluff, Nebraska on March 8, 1946, and moved to LA in 1964 with his band Soul Survivors. 4. Singer, guitarist, banjoist, mandolinist Bernie Leadon was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota on July 19, 1947, and arrived in LA in 1967 with Hearts and Flowers. 5. Singer-drummer Don Henley was born in Gilmer, Texas on July 22, 1947, and moved to LA in June 1970. 6. Glenn Frey was born in Detroit, Michigan on November 6, 1948, and moved to LA in the summer of 1968. Number 7. Frey and Henley were recruited in the summer of 1971 to perform in Linda Ronstadt's band. Meisner and Leadon were brought on for her summer tour. 8. All four Eagles actually only ever played one live gig together with Ronstadt before forming the band. It was a July concert at Disneyland. 9. The band was the brainchild of Henley and Frey, who recruited Meisner and Leadon after playing on Ronstadt's self-titled album together. 10. In September 1971, the group signed with manager David Geffen and agreed to record for his new label, Asylum Records. 11. The February 71, the Eagles flew to England for 2 weeks to record their debut album, Eagles, with producer Glyn Johns. 12. Eagles was released in June 71, reaching the top 20 and going gold after about a year and a half. 13. The album featured 2 top 10 hits entitled Take It Easy and Witchy Woman, and 1 top 20 hit called Peaceful Easy Feeling. 14. After touring as an opening act, the Eagles returned to England in 1973 to record their second LP entitled Desperado, a concept album about outlaws. 15. Desperado was released in April 1973, and after reaching the top 40, it again went gold in about a year and a half. 16. For their third album, the Eagles wanted to transition into harder rock music, while producer Glyn Johns thought the band should stick with country music. 17. Their growing artistic differences led the group to split with Johns after recording only 2 songs for the upcoming album. 18. In 1974, the Eagles toured with singer-guitarist Joe Walsh, who was opening for them. They decided to bring on Walsh's producer, Bill Szymczyk. 19. Szymczyk brought in guitarist Don Felder for a session while recording, and the Eagles were so impressed with him, they asked him to join the group. Number 20. Don Felder was born in Gainesville, Florida on September 21st, 1947, and went to high school with Bernie Leadon. 21. The Eagles released their third album, On The Border, in 1974. It went gold and reached the top 10. It was their best performing album yet. 22. In November, the Eagles released The Best of My Love as a single. It reached the top of the pop charts and served as the breakthrough they needed. 23. In June 1975, the band released their fourth album, One of These Nights. It immediately went gold and hit number 1 on the charts. 24. The song Lion Eyes off of One of These Nights earned the group's 1975 Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Performance by a Duo, Group, or Chorus. 25. The Eagles also earned Grammy nominations for Album of the Year, One of These Nights, and Record of the Year, Lion Eyes. 26. Following their success at the Grammys, the Eagles launched a headlining world tour. 27. On December 20th, 1975, it was announced that Bernie Leadon had quit the band, and his replacement would be none other than Joe Walsh. 28. Leadon ended up leaving to pursue country-based music. He formed the Bernie Leadon, Michael Georgiades band after leaving, and later formed Run CMW. 29. Joe Walsh was born in Wichita, Kansas on November 20th, 1947. He immediately joined the band in the middle of the tour. 30. Due to their rigorous tour schedule, the Eagles did not make plans to record a new album. The label decided to release a compilation while waiting. 31. In February 1976, the Eagles label released their greatest hits, 1971-1975. It topped the charts and sold 29 million copies. 32. Their greatest hits became the second best-selling of all time, following only Michael Jackson's Thriller. 33. Their greatest hits was the first album ever certified platinum. 34. In 1976, the Eagles released their fifth album, Hotel California. The album reached number 1 and was certified platinum within a week. 35. Hotel California eventually sold over 10 million copies and had 2 singles, New Kid in Town and Hotel California hit the number 1 spot. 36. Hotel California won the 1977 Grammy Award for Record of the Year. The song was also nominated for Song of the Year. 37. The album was nominated for Album of the Year and for Best Pop Vocal Performance by a Duo, Group, or Chorus. 38. In 1977, the Eagles launched another world tour, traveling around the U.S., Europe, and the Far East. 39. At the end of the tour, Randy Meisner left the band and was replaced by Timothy B. Schmidt, who was born in Sacramento, California on November 20th, 1947. 40. In 1979, the Eagles released their 6th album, The Long Run. The album hit number 1 and eventually went multi-platinum. 41. Heartache Tonight, off of The Long Run, won the 1979 Grammy for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal. 42. The Eagles toured the U.S. in 1980, recording the Eagles Live album at their Santa Monica tour stop. It reached the top 5 and went multi-platinum. 43. In 1982, the Eagles announced that the band had officially broken up and each of its members began working on solo careers. 44. In 1990, after 14 years, Frey and Henley began writing together once again and performed at benefit concerts with Schmidt and Walsh shortly thereafter. 45. In 1994, the band officially reunited when they taped an MTV concert special and launched a tour that ran through August 1996. 46. The MTV concert was released as the album Hell Freezes Over, which topped the charts and sold millions of copies. 47. In 1998, the Eagles were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. At the ceremony, the 5 current band members performed alongside past members Bernie Leadon and Randy Meisner. 48. On December 31st, 1999, the Eagles played a Millennium concert at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. 49. The concert was recorded and sold in a compilation box set called Selected Works 1972-1999. 50. In 2001, Henley and Frey fired Don Felder from the Eagles lineup. Apparently, the falling out was caused by a power struggle of sorts. 51. According to Felder, Henley and Frey had formed an exclusive partnership and were greedily cheating the other members of the band out of earnings. 52. Felder specifically cites the time that they founded a separate company to handle a box set without involvement from Felder, Walsh, or Schmidt. 53. Felder says that when he tried to call either of them out for their trespasses, Henley and Frey would threaten to throw him out of the band. 54. Felder filed several lawsuits against them, and the suits were eventually settled out of court. The terms unknown to the public. 55. In the midst of the lawsuit, Felder attempted to release an autobiography entitled Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles. 56. Henley and Frey attempted to stop the book from being published in yet another lawsuit. Henley and Frey were ultimately unsuccessful, though they did manage to get the book's publication pushed back a couple of years to 2009. 57. It took 6 years after Felder's firing in 2001 for them to settle the lawsuit in 2007. 58. In 2003, the remaining 4 Eagles, Henley, Frey, Walsh, and Schmidt, released the album The Very Best of the Eagles. 59. In 2007, the Eagles released their first new album with all new material since The Long Run in 1979. It was called Long Road Out of Eden. 60. Long Road Out of Eden, the band's 7th studio album, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard chart and quickly went multi-platinum. 61. Henley and Frey wrote or co-wrote 14 out of the 19 of the songs on Long Road Out of Eden. In a 2014 interview, Don Henley said this: "We felt like, and we still feel like, we are the leaders of this band, although we certainly do listen to the opinions of the other guys." 62. In 2008, the Eagles won their 5th Grammy for the single How Long. 63. In 2010, the band headlined a tour of arenas and stadiums alongside Fleetwood Mac. 64. In 2013, the Eagles came out with a documentary entitled History of the Eagles. They then toured until 2015. 65. On January 18, 2016, Glenn Frey passed away at the age of 67 due to complications from rheumatoid arthritis, acute ulcerative colitis, and pneumonia. 66. A month after Frey passed away, the remaining Eagles played a tribute to him at the 58th Annual Grammy Awards in 2016. 67. In 2016, the Eagles received Kennedy Center honors. They were celebrated on stage by Ringo Starr, Kings of Leon, and Bob Seger, among others. 68. They were supposed to receive the honors for the year before, but chose to defer for a year due to Frey's illness. 69. The band's manager, Irving Azoff, insisted that only current Eagles, including Frey, would be awarded medallions at the Kennedy Center ceremony. 70. In response, Don Felder started a petition that he shared on Facebook demanding that the Eagles add him, Meisner, and Leadon to the mix. 71. A week after the Grammys, Henley, Walsh, and Schmidt performed together at a private memorial service for Frey. Glenn's son, Deacon, sang with them. Henley said afterwards that the memorial service would likely be the Eagles' last performance as a band because it wouldn't feel right without Frey. 72. In 2017, however, the breakup of the band once again proved it wouldn't last long. In July, the band headlined 2 new music festivals on both coasts. 73. The Eagles played alongside Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan, the Doobie Brothers, Journey, and Earth, Wind & Fire in both Los Angeles and New York. 74. Glenn Frey's son Deacon returned to play with the Eagles at the Classic East and Classic West festivals. 75. Altogether, the Eagles have made 5 number 1 singles, 14 top 40 hits, and 4 number 1 albums. 76. Their greatest hits, 1971-1975, and Hotel California, both rank among the 10 best-selling albums ever. 77. Linda Ronstadt, who the Eagles used to play backup for, later did a cover of their song Desperado off of the album of the same name. 78. While Leadon and Felder were attending the same high school in Gainesville, Florida, Felder gave guitar lessons to his other classmate, Tom Petty. 79. Bertie Leadon's younger brother, Tom, was also in the pre-Heartbreakers group called Mudcrutch with Tom Petty. 80. Timothy Schmidt, who replaced Randy Meisner after he left the Eagles, had also replaced Meisner after he left the band Poco earlier in his career. 81. In 81, Don Henley duetted with Stevie Nicks on the top 10 single Leather and Lace. 82. Glenn Frey was a backup singer for Bob Seger before he moved to Los Angeles. 83. Prior to their breakup in 1982, the Eagles had an altercation on stage at a Long Beach concert that was later dubbed Long Day at Wrong Beach. During the fight, band members threatened each other with beatings backstage. 84. Immediately prior to their breakup, the band was making decisions about the upcoming album via FedEx from opposite coasts. 85. Glenn Frey wrote The Heat Is On for the soundtrack of the 1984 movie Beverly Hills Cop. 86. Frey also ventured into acting, securing guest roles on Miami Vice and Nash Bridges, and even appearing in the movie Jerry Maguire. 87. Henley was ultimately the most successful soloist in the group and won 2 Grammys for Best Rock Vocal Performance before rejoining the Eagles. 88. In 1995, Don Henley married Sharon Summerall. The couple now has 3 children. 89. Don Henley and Joe Walsh both dabbled romantically with Stevie Nicks. She still calls Joe Walsh her greatest love. 90. Joe Walsh is currently on his 5th marriage. His marriages have produced 4 children. 91. His first child, Emma Walsh, died in a car crash when she was 2 years old. He wrote Song for Emma in honor of her. 92. The Eagles spent 3 years and $800,000 to complete the follow-up album to Hotel California, The Long Run. 93. The first time the Eagles were in a room together after their breakup was to film the video for country star Travis Tritt's cover of Take It Easy. 94. In 1997, Frey co-founded the music label Mission Records. 95. The Long Road Out of Eden was sold exclusively at Walmart, Sam's Club, and Eagles.com for its first year of release. 96. In 1990, Henley founded the Walden Woods Project, dedicated to preserving historic lands around Walden Pond in Concord, Massachusetts, from corporate development. Walden Pond is the natural landscape that inspired Henry David Thoreau in his writing, among others. 97. The Eagles have sued a small hotel in Baja California for taking on the name Hotel California and claiming a connection to the band's famous song. 98. Henley has said that Steely Dan's lyrical bravery inspired their lyric writing in Hotel California. 99. The Eagles won a softball game against the editorial staff of Rolling Stone magazine in 1978. The score was 15-8. 100. The Eagles' 1978 update of Charles Brown's Please Come Home for Christmas became the first holiday theme song to reach the top 20 since Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree in 1960. 101. In 1980, Henley survived a crash landing when an airplane pilot had to land a plane in a pasture. He and his girlfriend leapt from the moving aircraft. 102. Afterwards, the band received a $7,000 invoice for the flight. Their manager sent it back with a note that said, "We do not pay for crash landing." 103. Bernie Leadon supposedly came up with the band's name Eagles after reading about the Hopis Indian tribe's reverence for the eagle. The band was apparently drinking tequila and high on peyote in the middle of the Mojave Desert at the time. 104. Life in the Fast Lane was inspired by a conversation with Glenn Frey's drug dealer while driving at 90 miles an hour. 105. After their breakup in 1982, Frey said they'd never do a Greed and Lost Youth reunion tour. He didn't think the Eagles would ever get back together. Frey said, "I can't picture myself at 41 up on stage with a beer belly singing Take It Easy." He ended up touring with the Eagles until he was 65. 106. The band was pissed when the label first released their greatest hits 1971-1975, calling it a blatant money grab. They're pretty happy about it now. 107. Henley's mom got him his first drum set as a reward for blowing up the laundry tub with a cherry bomb. It meant she got to upgrade to a washing machine. You just finished watching MicDrop's 107 music facts about the Eagles. Did you enjoy these facts? Which artist do you want to see featured next? Make sure you subscribe because we're bringing you more facts about your favorite musicians.